My name is Aaron, and this is Truckin' True Vlogs, episode 20. Boy, I gotta love relationships. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Truckin' True Vlogs. This is episode 20, and I am your boy Aaron. And today we're going to be talking about relationships. And what I mean by relationships, I'm not talking about business relationships, just personal relationships. Or at least explain to you guys how me and my wife is actually able to make it work with this trucking lifestyle, with me being gone all the time and her being home. So definitely just stick around. Oh yeah, you guys already know. See, in this industry has one of the highest divorce rates. We're up there with the law enforcement and the military personnel. But for some reason, it seems like my wife and I could definitely beat those odds. And here's why. See, when my wife and I first started dating, alright, she kind of put me through the test. And one of those tests was to basically work for her. You know what I'm saying? And if you want a successful relationship, fellas, you have to work for your women. Ladies, don't get it twisted either. You have to work for your men. But the work I think that the women want us to do is a thing called show and prove. You know, they want us to put them in ahead and in the beginning and everything. And I'm a firm believer that if you in a successful relationship, that is because the woman or your wife always comes first. It comes above anything else without you losing who you are. I want y'all to think about that. So when y'all think about that for a second, you know, when I'm talking about without losing who you are, okay? Trucking is an extension of who I am. This is trucking. This is what I do. This is how I provide. This is my way of life. You know, in case y'all wondering what I'm doing, I'm untarping all of these rollers that I got from yesterday up there in Sandusky, Ohio. It paid me $5.18 basically per mile. So some people was wondering how am I able to actually gross freaking over 300,000 and profit over 250,000. Well, this is why. I don't one, I don't deal with cheap freight, and two, not only do I don't deal with cheap freight, I also don't, you know, deal with general freight either all the time. I mean, I do every now and then. All depends on where I'm at. But yeah, like, you know, flatbedding, trucking, this whole business, this is how I provide. This is an extension of who I am. So I can't give up what I know for my wife. My wife has to be happy with how I put food on the table. So I want y'all to think about that. See, what I mean by putting my wife at the forefront of everything, right? I basically mean it just like this. All the stuff that I used to have in my past, like all the people I used to talk to that I can, you know, get some quick action from. I was still, when me and my wife first started talking, I was still also talking to them. But the only way that I can show my wife that I was serious about her is if I cut them off out of my life and stop dealing with them. So once my wife seen at the fact that she was worth more than just her beauty and her booty, that I was there for her intellectually, and I wanted to be more than just a boyfriend with it, I was willing to make all the necessary sacrifices in the beginning to put her ahead of myself. So I want y'all to think about that. So with that being said, that also means that those sacrifices also means that I had to put my wife herself through the test to see if she's going to be willing to put me first. And to be honest, when we're going through this process, we don't really think about it. We just do it. You know, you don't even realize that that's what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So my wife also showed me that I come first to her above everything else. So I want y'all to think about that. So once we've shown each other that how important we are to each other, we kind of just got the realization that, you know, maybe this is meant to be, and then we got married. Okay, once we got married, and just for everyone to know, I also started, when I met my wife, I was already in trucking, so it isn't like she didn't know I was a truck driver, or it was a choice that I made being with her. I was actually already a truck driver while I was with her. You know, before I even met her, actually, I was already a truck driver. But, you know, at the same time, when we first got together, I was still gone a lot. You know, and it was hard for her to basically comprehend the lifestyle that I have to be, or that I have to live, in order to basically, you know, show her that I really wanted to be with her. So while I'm out here working every day, you know, she's at home, she's alone, and the only time she gets to hear my voice or talk to me is through a phone. Now it's through YouTube or FaceTime, but through a phone. And believe it or not, in the beginning, it was kind of hard for both of us, for the simple fact that, you know, talking to a person through a phone is nothing like talking to a person face to face. It's not the same type of quality, it's not. But so in the beginning, that played a huge deal into the development of my wife and I. Like, literally, that played a huge deal. So after we got married, I decided that I was going to be an owner operator. She basically gave me that vision, you know what I'm saying, or told me to do it, that she's willing to rock with me. So that's when I started becoming an owner operator and stuff. But I was gone even more than what I was. So believe it or not, throughout all of this, it honestly caused like a lot of drama in our relationship in the beginning. Okay, so, but there was some things that I did to help combat that drama that I want to talk about. So, like building trust. I'm gonna tell you guys how I'm able to keep my wife's trust out here. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, maybe some of you guys might not even agree with it, but this is what I did, and this is why my wife is happy today. So, how did I earn my wife's trust? Well, here's one of the basic things I want you guys to hear, okay? And a wise person told me this. Believe it or not, my dad told me this. So I'm gonna tell you guys the same thing my dad told me. He said, trust is not given, trust is earned. So in other words, you have to work for a person's trust. So when I told my wife, I'd rather earn her trust, I'd rather work for it, because I think if I work for something, the likelihood of me taking advantage of it would be slim to none. Not saying that I won't, not saying that I won't make mistakes, which I will. So here's one of the things that I did to earn her trust. Okay, I gave her the passcode to my phone. I also give her the passwords to my emails, to all my social media sites. I gave her the password. If I said I was going to do something, I did it. If she asked me where I was, I told her where I'm at. If she asked me what I'm doing, I tell her what I'm doing. The way to earn trust is literally just to do what you say you're going to do. And don't give no doubts to put things inside of their mind to think that you or out here doing something that you're not. But that also brings me to my second point, but I'll be right back with that one. I said I'll be back, but it keeps spinning me around in a circle. See, I really don't think even Guilty 718 can edit like this. I bet you y'all getting tired of me just going around in a circle on you, huh? Well, we getting ready to talk about number 2, the second thing that I did that helped my relationship as far as trucking. Just maybe one more circle. Boo. So, another thing that helped me out is within the second year. Well, yeah, second year of my marriage. And we've been together, we've been married for 4 years. It's going to be our 5th year anniversary coming up. Y'all believe that? But here's another thing that also helped us out. Remember in the beginning of the video, I said that one of the things that my wife didn't comprehend or understood was what it took me and the sacrifices that I have to make. And she didn't really understand what it's like being out here on the road and stuff, right? So this is what I did. I took her out here with me for about 1.5 years. And me and her would just stayed on the road. She got to see how I reacted or interacted with people. She got to see how I reacted to certain situations. She got to see my life for what it was when I'm away from her. So what do you think that did to her? Well, I'm gonna let y'all find out. See, that basically just gave her more reasons to trust me, so that way now she basically understands what it takes or what I gotta to do out here. So now she knows what I'm doing behind her back, technically, while I'm at work, when I'm not around her, when I'm away from her, when I'm everywhere else but in her arms. You understand what I'm saying? So having her out here with me basically helped my relationship. So now when I'm gone and she's not out here, she doesn't have to worry that much. She doesn't have to worry about whether or not I'm being faithful or not, because she's already seen me out here. She knows what I'm like. She knows what I do. She knows what I'm about. She knows what to expect, even if I'm out here by myself. And believe it or not, all I do is work. I don't really do much of anything else. Work. Work, work, work. She's seen me book load. She's seen me out here tarping and untarping. She was also out here, y'all seen it in the videos, doing the stuff with me. So by her seeing me and watching me do this, it gave her a little bit of comfort, and it also allowed her to trust me that much more. Oh yeah. It also makes her think that I'm a little bit cuter. See, I usually tell my wife that love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. You know, you gotta make the choices every day to stay committed. Unconditional love is a feeling. Being happy is a feeling. You know, but take it for this. Relationships, committed relationships, is just like the business I run. If you want to be successful in it, it takes a lot of work. And like I said, what made it simple for me is I brought my wife out here. My wife has got my passcodes to everything. And also at the same time, I'm honest with her. I still, if I tell her I'm going to do something, I do it. If things need to get done, I make it happen. So I don't leave no doubt in my wife's mind. Now, do me and my wife, do we argue sometimes? Yeah, from time to time. That's normal couple shit. But overall, my wife and I are very, very happy. You know, we're expecting our first son. He's going to be here in about 3 months, if that, not even that long. She's about to turn 2 months. She's about to be 7 months. Today or tomorrow, I think she just turned 7 months. But I want y'all to think about that. You do not have to make your relationship complicated. Now, again, I understand some people's situation is different than mine. You guys might already have kids, and if you're on the road, you probably can't bring your wife out there with you. But everything else, you know, giving up passcodes, letting her see what's inside of your phone, letting her see what you're doing behind the back is going to give your wife comfort. And ladies, like I said, even the same could apply to you. If you can help your husband or your wife to feel less insecure about you, why not do that? Like I said, a relationship takes hard work, and it's just like running a business. And I always ask my wife this question: how bad do you want it? If you want your wife or you want your husband that bad, then there's nothing on this here planet that you would not do to show them how bad you want and how bad you need them. So that's just how I live by. And I'm gonna give you guys another thing. My mom and dad divorced, so technically that's how I viewed my marriage at first, how I viewed all marriages actually. Never wanted to be the kid to get married, and then I met my baby, my precious, you know, and she changed my mind in so many ways. And as hard as, and this is just how I feel, even though this ain't how it is, but it's, no matter how hard I work for my wife, it will never repay her for all the love that she's already given me. So, you know, that's just my relationship advice from a trucker to another trucker who's out here on the road doing this thing. So I don't care if you guys heard it over there. I don't care if you guys heard it over there. Because over here, I'm going to give you the mother trucker truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Now I gotta pull these tarps off and fold them up so I can get back to work. So I'm gonna have to catch you guys on the other side.